Hi, Bill here. I thought I'd just give you guys another real quick update. I'm feeling better today, even though the weather's not cooperating. It's in the 30s or around 40 and raining right now, so not good Lyme weather for our joints. But yeah, I had a pretty good morning, and was able to. I had to drive an hour to my doctor's appointment today, so luckily I was able to get up in time to get everything going and get down there. It's about an hour away. As I said, I had to be there at 1:30. And I explained to her what was going on with, some of the really bad symptoms this week and, how a lot of people were experiencing this. And she said, yeah, absolutely. The full moon has something to do with that, and we just discussed my whole blood panel that I had gotten done, and she said everything looked pretty good there. And I had actually tested for EBV, Epstein-Barr virus, and she said there's no way for the test to say if you have it like right now active on the test that they did, but it said that I had had it. So what it meant was, I had had it at least 6 weeks prior to the test, is what, the antibodies are there. So you know, that's what they say, that it's, it can be at least 6 weeks prior to the test. It could be, 2 months, or it could be 5 years. No way of knowing. It's just still in your system, I guess, is the antibodies, is what they say. So for right now, I'm going to think about it. I don't know if I want to do any antiviral stuff with all the other stuff I'm taking. I don't know if I want to push myself. I looked up a lot of the herbs that I'm taking, a lot of the Boehner herbs that I'm taking for that protocol, and a lot of them are antiviral and active against Epstein-Barr virus. So that might be, a good thing to just keep doing that, and hopefully it's not still active in my system, like she said. It's something that was a past infection, and I think that's what I'm going to do for now. And then we talked about my whole protocol, and decided I'm making progress. So I'm going to kind of keep on keeping on, and we're, trying to back off on the antibiotics. Eventually the goal is to get off of them. So instead of doing like what I've been doing lately, for a while I did every 2 weeks I would take 2 days off. And then for a while, every week I took 2 days off, and I backed off even more. I'm down to the point where I'm maybe like 4 days on, 3 days off right now, or maybe 3.5 days on and 3.5 days off. And what we're going to do, we're going to try to take a whole week off, and just see what happens, or maybe a week and a half, and then just see how I feel, and go from there. I expressed that I'm hesitant to just stop, because, we also talked about how, this 28-day cycle with Lyme, sort of like the moon, and how some of the big, top name Lyme doctors will say, you want to, once you're feeling good, you still want to treat for a month or two just to make sure you don't relapse, and, you don't have any stragglers come out, I suppose. And so that's, I expressed, my concerns about stopping right now, because I don't feel like I'm out of the woods by any means, but we're going to try to back off and see what happens. So I just thought I'd give you that quick update, and just explain all that of what I'm up against and what I'm doing. So I will talk to you soon. And one other thing I thought I would mention was, appetite. I know at least one other person out there, you know who you are, that during this kind of wacky time we've had between full moon and symptoms, some people have had a lot of neurological symptoms. Some people have had a lot of emotional symptoms, and one of them is food cravings, and being hungry. And I've actually had quite the opposite happen. I've had like hardly any hunger at all. And so what I decided to do during this time was, I'm going to try to do a little bit of, I guess you could say, a modified, semi sort of fast, not a fast per se, but I've been doing, I guess you could say, a green juice. Here's my green juice. And what I do is NutriBullet. I don't do juicing. I do a NutriBullet smoothie. And so what I've been doing, even though I'm going to sort of fast, I'm also, I'm not going to stop some of the stuff that I take. I take a lot of my probiotic juices, kombucha and kefir, and so I'm doing these green juices twice a day, pretty much brunch and like late afternoon, like now. Right now it's like 4:30, and so it's a NutriBullet smoothie. I've been doing, carrot juice, organic carrot juice, that I buy, and different greens, just mixed greens, spinach, whatever. And then I put my medicinal mushrooms that I put in there, and that I take on a regular basis anyhow, and just whatever else I think I want to put in there. Usually some berries a little bit, and maybe half an avocado to thicken it up a little bit, and that's pretty much it, I think. So I've been doing that twice a day, and then no snacks or anything. Maybe a handful of almonds or a couple nuts for a small snack in between. And then in the evening I've been doing kind of like a stir fry, where I just take some coconut oil and olive oil and saute a little bit of garlic, and then saute a bunch of greens. So I've been putting kale and collard greens, and spinach and different things in there, and that's been pretty much my dinner, and then, like I said, I'm not stopping all my other stuff that I do. So I do my probiotics, because I'm on antibiotics, so I do a lot of probiotics. So I'll do, a forkful of homemade sauerkraut, maybe twice a day, away from my antibiotics. And I made some homemade pickles a while back, so I might do one of those little slices, when I need probiotics away from my antibiotics, and milk kefir, and the water kefir and kombucha that I mentioned. And then I've been doing a little bit of broth in the evenings for my second dose of my medicinal mushrooms and the cordyceps and the lion's mane. And that's pretty much it. And the other thing I've been putting in the smoothies that I forgot to tell you is the chronic fatigue formula that I've been doing. And so that's a whole lot of stuff in there. Too much for me to read out right now, but a lot of chlorella, spirulina, a lot of herbs, and green wheatgrass juice powder, and just a whole lot of stuff like that in there that's in that chronic fatigue formula. Maybe one of these days I'll do a video, where I can talk a little bit more about that, what all's in it and how you do that. And then I also do my Lyme arthritis tea, a few times a day, and that's a tea made out of a whole bunch of different herbs. And so that's my sort of kind of modified fast, I guess you could say. I'm on day 3 of that, so I'm maybe going to do that one more day and see how it goes. So far I've been feeling good, and really never hungry, which is kind of weird for me. Normally I'm one kind of person who I don't know if I'm hypoglycemic or not, but I'm the kind of person who wants to eat a little bit of something every couple of hours. So I never really eat like a big meal per se, but I'm one of those people that eat several small meals a day. But during this week I've been just doing this. It's really the only solid food I've had is those sautéed greens for dinner, and a little bit of sauerkraut, and then of course my smoothies. So far it's been going so good, and I feel pretty good. So that's what I'm doing for now. I plan on this weekend, definitely eating. Even though, like I said, I'm not feeling hungry, I'm gonna not do this too long, because I know I need. I've been putting some protein powder in the smoothies too, some pea protein powder, but I know I need some more protein than what I've been getting. That's just me. A lot of people say they don't need as much as that, but I'll let you know how this goes, and I'll talk to you soon.